What? Dude. I don't even know what to say. Like, I said that last week. Come on, man. I'm. It, I got a lot flowing through my brain right now. Bears lose by a lot, by like 10 points to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In very, very heartbreaking fashion. Oh my God. That was one of the worst just all around games that I've ever seen from the Bears. In terms of having, not only do you look incompetent on offense and defense, but you put in you do just enough hope that you still end up with heartbreak at the end of it all. That's the Bears special right there. That's what we're built for. That's how we do this. Dude, I don't even know where to start. The Bears had such a horrible performance all around. I'll start with Justin Fields. He's the quarterback. Dude, I really don't think he's it. Like, I was the biggest Fields supporter from day one. Day one, I was. I have 3 Fields jerseys. I'm wearing one right now. It's the only orange one I have. And he looked so horrible today. Ignoring open receivers, sitting in clean pockets for way too long, refusing to throw the ball for whatever reason. Obviously, we don't have the film yet, so we don't exactly know what. It's possible everybody was just covered, but you look at the broadcast, the alternate angles, and you can see there are guys running wide open. He threw 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 on our own goal line that sealed the game. Yeah, and this feels like it always happens with Justin. When he has the opportunity to do a 2-minute drill, go down the field, win us the game, something totally unlucky happens. Last year we had the Amir Smith-Marset fumble, the Velus Jones fumbles, the Equanimeous St. Brown pick that happened. This time around it was Fields went back. He tried to throw a dump off. He had pressure right in his face. He tried to throw a back foot dump off to Khalil Herbert, who was in the middle of a bunch of guys. Shaq Barrett went up for it and just picked it off, went right into the end zone. That's a touchdown. That's a pick 6, and that was it. That's it for the game. Bears lose. And that is just horrible luck. And I can't put that one on Justin completely. It was a dumb call by Luke Getsy, who I thought was better. I thought Luke Getsy was better. But, good God. How do we look worse than we did last year? Genuinely. This was the year that was supposed to be the easy game. We do not have another easy game coming up on our schedule for a while. We got to face the Kansas City Chiefs next week, who I know don't look great, but they'll look a lot better than us. A lot better than us. We look so god-awful in every phase of the game. We started off great. Justin he drove down the field. DJ Moore was making insane catches. He had a rushing touchdown. I was like, there we go. That's what was missing last week, that juice. And then he went back to his same old habits. The pressure was right in his face. And then when he didn't have pressure in his face, he would just stand in the pocket and just hesitate. And he just wouldn't pull the trigger on guys that I know when the film review comes out, there are going to be guys open all over the field that he just doesn't throw to, that he just hesitates to. Then that happens for a while. We don't get much out of it. A couple field goals, I think. And then finally we go down 10, and Justin just marches down the field with an insane drive. One of the best drives I've ever seen out of him. He moves down the field. He kept throwing to DJ Moore, who we all complained about last week not getting any work. DJ had an insane game this week. We need to throw to him every play all the time because he's so dynamic. He's exactly what Justin has been needing, but my fear is that it's just too late. His confidence is just gone. And I don't know if it's from all last year having to play with a bad O-line and bad receivers, but the dude just not, he doesn't trust his team. He doesn't trust his receivers. He doesn't trust his O-line. He doesn't trust his coaches. He doesn't trust anything. He just sits in the pocket and he's so jittery. He doesn't know what he hesitates too much. He just overthinks it, and you cannot do that in the NFL. That's just not how it works. Justin moved down the field with ruthless efficiency, throwing to DJ, and then an amazing tight window throw to Chase Claypool for a touchdown. Chase Claypool's first touchdown as a Bear, by the way, who was also a lot better this game than he was last week, just by having a touchdown. It's his best game as a Bear so far. And then our defense makes a stop for once after having the least clutch game I've ever seen out of them, but I can excuse it. No, I can't excuse it, actually, but I'll get to that in a second. They punt. First, Trent Taylor almost turns it back over to them by touching the ball at the end of the play. Why did he do that? Why? Tell me why he did that. I don't know. What does he get out of that? Why did he even try that? So then Justin takes the field. Nice completion, gets turned around by, or it was a nice run, gets turned around by Chase Claypool pass interference call, which was stupid, but moves him back. And then, throws a little dump off, gets picked, goes in, and that's game done. It's over. No opportunities to actually go down the field and score. And it's so frustrating that this happens week after week after week. This is the year that, yes, Justin showed a lot of promise, but this is the year he looks exactly the same as last year. Exactly the same. That game was nothing that last year's Justin Fields or even rookie Justin Fields couldn't do. He looks exactly the same. He looks like he hasn't progressed at all. And that is a sign that he is not going to be the guy. But we still have 15 more games with him as the quarterback. Because I do not want to see Nathan Peterman out there. I know people are going to be clamoring for Tyson Bagent, but he's not. He's a UDFA from a D2 school. You could try him later in the season, but we need Justin. You need to keep him out there. Even though you know he's not the answer, you might as well, because you're going to have to trade him. So if he goes out there and he shows enough that you could trade him, but you know he's not the franchise guy, then go ahead. And I just cannot believe we're doing this conversation again. They took a guy who was supposed to be a gunslinger like a Josh Allen, and they turned him into Mitch Trubisky. It's the exact same problems Mitch went up to. Not being able to read a defense, hesitating to throw the ball, not trusting his receivers. It's the exact same problems, like clockwork. I want to talk about the defense, who had another horrible showing. Eddie Jackson and Jaquan Brisker both went down early. Jackson ended up being done for the game. Brisker came back later, but he didn't really do all that much. He had a dropped pick early in the game, which, now that I think about it, could have changed the course of the whole thing. And they just got Baker Mayfield had 300 yards. He just ran all over him all day. They couldn't do anything to stop him. You know, our secondary was missing Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson, and Kyler Gordon. Jaquan Brisker did come back, but missing Kyler Gordon turned out to be huge because Tyreek Stevenson got burnt. And Terrell Smith. Terrell Smith looked horrible, but he's a 6th-round rookie. Of course he looked horrible. I didn't expect anything less from him. But our pass rush still can't get home. I know it's a good Bucs O-line, but the reason why we brought in Yannick Ngakoue and brought in all these run stuffers and brought in DeMarcus Walker and drafted Gervon Dexter and Zach Pickens is to be able to at least get some pressure. I'm not saying we need to get sacks like we used to back in the day, 6 sacks a game, but we need to get pressure. I don't think we had a single sack. I don't think we did. I think Fields got sacked 6 times today, 7 maybe. And it's just frustrating that we're having the same conversations over and over again. This is the same things that we were talking about last year. Exactly the same. After all, we had a whole draft. We had that whole free agency traded down. Fields was supposed to be, it's his second year in the offense. He's supposed to be taking that next step, and he just looks so lost. And now we have to play Kansas City. Part of me wants to say I should have expected this, but I always hate those Bears fans that are always like, oh, same old Bears, they screw up everything. If you genuinely believe that the Bears are going to get everything wrong forever, then you should probably go and be a fan of another team. Like, it makes no sense. But where I thought we would be right now, I thought we'd be 2-0 right now. I thought Justin would be looking good. I thought the defense would be looking better. Instead, we're 0-2. Justin looks exactly the same as he did last year. Not necessarily bad all the time, but, he's had 200 yards back-to-back games now. He's on pace for over 3,000 yards, which is something, but stats don't measure up with what you actually see on the field. And what we saw on the field was bad. Very bad. And the problem is, you can't just blame one thing for this. Like, it felt like everybody in 2019 was like, oh, it's Mitch. Mitch is the problem. Get rid of Mitch and it's all that. Or get rid of Nagy and this team will be great. Now it's like, it's Mitch, it's the coaches, it's the O-line, it's the D-line, it's the secondary, it's everything under the sun just packed into one. This team either has a long way to go by the end of this season, or this is how the whole season's going to go, and we're screwed. Because this team should be a lot better. The Bears right now look like the type of team where if they had a different coaching staff, they would be a lot better than they are now. Like, if we had hired, like, Mike McDaniel, let's say, brought him in instead of Matt Eberflus, or brought in Brian Daboll, which Daboll would have been perfect for us, but he was never coming here. He was always going to New York. But hypothetically, if we brought in Brian Daboll or Mike McDaniel to run this team, I feel like the Bears right now would be very good. Justin would be a lot better, and the defense would be all right. Because the talent that's out there, we've seen them be good. But this just isn't the scheme. This isn't the coaching staff. This isn't just nothing about this is working. And that's something that we have to confront. It could just be a slow start. Could just be that we're just finding our footing, still gelling as a team with all these new pieces, but the guys that are supposed to be taking steps forward aren't doing anything. Chase Claypool had a better game than last week, but we still need him to be better. DJ Moore is the only guy that really stood out today. DJ Moore, Tyreek Stevenson had a couple good plays, but Mike Evans burned him all game long. We had a blocked punt, or blocked field goal. That was pretty cool. We never get those. That was cool. Other than that, I can't really, what can you even say about this game that makes you positive about the future or feeling good about these players when it's been 2 full games against 2 teams that are not world beaters? It's not like we're facing off against really good teams. We're facing off against a Packers team that lost a lot of pieces and is starting a new quarterback. And we're facing off against a Tampa team that also lost a lot of pieces and is also starting a new quarterback and has a new offensive coordinator. And they were without their best cornerback, and I think one of their safeties and one of their D linemen, and they still shut us down. If we want this rebuild to work, we need to actually let Justin throw the ball. And I wish I knew what the issue was. I wish I knew if it was Justin deciding not to throw the ball or Getsy just not having him. But again, we're not calling like super deep shots, Like we're calling there's some good like mid-range plays, but I want to see Justin, like I know he can, just unhook like a 50-yard bomb. Because we saw him do that a ton of times last year, and it's fun and it's good. Or at least try. He doesn't have to do it, but at least try it. See, oh my God. This team is screwed. A lot of people are giving up on Justin. This is going to be the game that a lot of people give up on him. And I might have to join them. It is only week 2. We still have 15 more games of Justin Fields where he could. If he ends up just going on a tear at some point in this season, late in the year maybe, and he just looks like an insanely good quarterback, sure, I could see it. But right now, I don't see a world in which we keep him after this year. And that's sad. It's really sad. God. I don't even feel like super like anger. I just feel so disappointed. And that sounds so stupid. But like we just looked so sad, man. And this team, the outlook is grim. And now we have to face Kansas City. So, good luck with that. I'm sure there are a lot of things that I'm not remembering right now, but there are just things coming to mind right now. I literally, the game just ended. I just came down here and started recording. But man, that's going to sting for a while because we needed this game. And now we're 0-2, staring down the barrel of 0-3. If we somehow beat the Chiefs next week, that'd be really funny after starting off the season really bad. But do you guys actually think that's really going to happen right now? I don't. Eberflus called plays on defense this week instead of Alan Williams. And while it was refreshing because Alan Williams looked horrible last week, it still wasn't very good. Everything about this coaching staff is just screaming that it's the wrong staff, and it's not going to work. We've lost 12 in a row. Haven't won a game since October 16th-ish of 2022. You're not supposed to do that. That's not... Like last year, sure, the tank was by design, but this year the tank is not by design, and we look worse. How do we look worse? How are we worse than we were last year? I just don't understand. Everything I was confident in before the season is just fizzling away before my eyes. And it's heartbreaking. And, there's going to be people that are calling for change. Fire the coaches. Fire the quarterback. Fire Poles. Get rid of Claypool. Whatever. But the sad part is we're stuck. I don't see the McCaskies getting rid of the coaching staff after 2 games. Which I don't even know if they should or not. I'm just going off what I see. Yeah, obviously we could turn it around after this, but do you really think that's going to happen? I don't think I do. Well, either way, strap in, because this is going to be a whole year. And this is going to be one of the worst years of our Bears fandom. See you later.